Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Have you ever wondered? There are decisions you make every day. Small ones, invisible ones, so fast, you don't even realize you're making them. You open your phone, you scroll endlessly, faces, titles, ideas, all blending into one. And then something stops you. Not loudly, not aggressively, just quietly. Your thumb slows down, your eyes pause, and before logic can catch up, you've already clicked. Now, if someone asked you, why this one? You wouldn't really know, because the truth is, you didn't decide. You felt, and that feeling was created by color. Before words, before meaning, before understanding. Color enters your mind and tells you what to feel. And once you understand this, you begin to see something most people never do. The world is not reacting to what you say. It's reacting to what your colors whisper first. Let's understand this through Emma's story. Emma never thought she had a problem. From the outside, everything looked fine. She had good taste. She followed trends. She kept up with what people around her were wearing. Her wardrobe wasn't empty. It was full of colors, full of options, full of choices, and yet every morning felt the same. She would stand in front of her wardrobe, staring at rows of clothes, and feel nothing, no excitement, no certainty, just a quiet question. Will this look right today? Some days she would choose something bold, hoping it would make her feel confident. Other days she would play safe, hoping she wouldn't stand out too much. But no matter what she chose, there was always a strange feeling following her, not strong enough to break her, but persistent enough to stay. A feeling that something was off. It showed up in the smallest moments. When she walked into a room, and conversations continued without noticing her arrival. When she posted a photo, and it didn't feel as alive as she expected. When she looked at herself in the mirror, and couldn't explain why, but something didn't feel aligned. And then there were other days, rare days, days when she wore something, and suddenly people noticed. Not dramatically, but subtly. Someone looked twice. Someone listened more carefully. Someone said, "You look different today in a good way." Those days confused her the most, because nothing about her had changed. Same face, same voice, same person. So what was it? One quiet evening, Emma sat with her phone, scrolling through old photos. Not to post, not to compare, just observing. And slowly, a pattern began to reveal itself. In some pictures, she looked vibrant, clear, present. In others, she looked dull, faded, almost like she was disappearing into the background. Same lighting, same camera, but something was different. And for the first time, she stopped looking at herself and started looking at the colors around her, the colors she wore, the colors behind her, the way they interacted. And that's when she realized it wasn't her confidence changing. It was her color combinations. When Emma came across the work of A Dictionary of Color Combinations, it didn't feel like she was learning something new. It felt like she was finally seeing something that had always been influencing her. This wasn't a book filled with long explanations. There were no chapters teaching you step by step. Instead, there were hundreds of carefully crafted color combinations. Simple, silent, powerful, each one showing a truth. Some colors naturally belong together. Others silently destroy each other. Emma started imagining colors differently. Not as shades, but as emotions. A deep navy blue no longer felt like just a color. It felt like a quiet evening sky, stable, grounded, trustworthy. A muted, dusty pink felt soft, like warmth, like comfort, like closeness. And when she imagined these two together, navy blue and dusty pink, something magical happened. The strength of the blue, softened by the warmth of the pink, not competing, completing. She began exploring combinations one by one, not memorizing them, feeling them. One palette brought together a soft beige, a faded olive green, and a touch of warm brown. It felt like nature, calm, grounded, effortless. Another combination paired deep indigo with a burnt orange and a hint of cream. There was contrast here, energy. The orange didn't overpower the blue. It activated it. Then there was a quieter combination, a pale gray, a soft lavender, and a whisper of white. This one didn't try to impress. It simply existed, and in that existence, there was elegance. Emma realized something important. Colors don't need to be loud to be powerful. They just need to be in harmony. When colors fight, your brain feels discomfort, even if you can't explain it. When colors align, everything feels effortless, natural, right? And that feeling translates into how people see you. Emma didn't rush. She didn't try to change everything at once. The next morning, she stood in front of her wardrobe again. But this time she didn't ask, "What should I wear?" She asked, "What do I want to feel today?" Calm, confident, approachable, powerful. And then she chose colors that matched that feeling. She began noticing how darker shades added weight, how lighter shades added space, how contrast created attention, and how too many colors created confusion. She stopped overloading her choices. Instead, she simplified. One main color, one that supported it, and one, just a hint to bring alive. Without realizing it, she was following the same principles that artists and designers have followed for decades. Days passed. Nothing dramatic happened overnight, but slowly things began to shift. Her photos felt clearer. Her presence felt stronger. And most importantly, she felt aligned. Not because she changed who she was, but because she finally understood how to present herself. Colors are not decoration. They are communication. They speak before you do. They create emotion before logic. And once you understand them, you stop guessing. You start choosing. One night, Emma stood in front of her mirror again. Same room, same reflection. But something was different. Not outside, inside. For the first time, she wasn't asking, "Do I look good?" She was asking, "What am I saying without speaking?" And as she looked at herself, she smiled, because now she knew the answer. And the next morning, when she stepped out into the world, people noticed, not because she tried harder, but because she finally knew how to be seen. Now, you understand something most people don't. That colors are not random. They are emotional signals. But understanding is not enough, because at some point, you'll stand in front of your wardrobe or your design, and you'll still ask, which color should I actually use? So instead of guessing, let me guide you through some of the most powerful combinations, inspired by the timeless work of Sanzo Wada. Don't just listen to these. Visualize them. Feel them. If you want earthy calm, then use beige, olive green, warm brown tones. Imagine this, a soft beige base. Not too bright, not too dull, just warm. Now add a muted olive green, The kind of green you see in leaves, not fresh but slightly aged. And then a touch of warm brown, like soil after rain. This combination doesn't try to impress anyone. It feels grounded, real, peaceful. This is for days when you don't want attention, but you want quiet respect. If you want contrast energy, use deep blue burnt orange cream. Now shift your mind. Picture a deep blue, almost like the sky just after sunset. Calm but heavy. Now suddenly a burnt orange enters. Warm, rich, alive. It doesn't overpower the blue. It wakes it up. And then a soft cream tone balances everything. This combination creates tension, but a beautiful one. Perfect when you want to stand out without looking chaotic. If you want soft elegance, use lavender, pale gray, white. Now slow down. Imagine a soft lavender. Not loud, not flashy, just gentle. Now blend it with pale gray, a quiet, almost invisible color. And finally, white, clean, open, light. This combination doesn't demand attention. It invites it. This is elegance without effort. The kind that people notice but can't explain. And if you want power and authority, then use black, deep green, gold accent. Now feel this. A strong black base. Solid, unshaken. Now layer it with deep green. Not bright, but rich like emerald in low light. And then just a touch of gold. Not too much, just enough to catch the eye. This combination feels expensive, controlled, confident. This is not loud power. This is silent authority. But if you want fresh minimal, then use sky blue, white, soft beige. Imagine a clear sky. That's your blue. Now pair it with white, pure, open, and then soften it with a hint of beige. Suddenly, it feels breathable, light, effortless, perfect for calm minds, clean aesthetics, and clarity. And for warm vintage, you must use mustard yellow, muted red, dusty brown. Now let's go deeper. Think of mustard yellow. Not bright, but aged. Now add a muted red. Softened like it has history. And finally, dusty brown. This combination feels nostalgic, like an old photograph. Warm, familiar, emotional. This is storytelling through color. For cool depth, use indigo, charcoal gray, soft silver. Now imagine night, a deep indigo, almost black but not quite. Then charcoal gray, heavy, stable, and a touch of soft silver, just enough to reflect light. This combination feels modern, sharp, mysterious, perfect for depth, focus, and sophistication. Now listen carefully. These combinations are not rules. They are starting points. You don't need to copy them exactly. Instead, ask yourself, which feeling do I want today? Which combination matches that feeling? And then adapt it. Because once you understand a feeling, you can recreate the combination in your own way. Most people will hear this and forget it. They'll go back to random choices, random colors, random impressions. But a few people will pause, will observe, will choose with intention. And those people will start getting attention without asking for it. Because now you're not just someone who sees colors. You're someone who understands them. And once you understand color, you don't just look different. You feel different. And the world responds to that feeling. just like Emma discovered her truth. Let's take a moment to see what we've learned from this journey. Key takeaways. 1. Colors are not decoration. They're emotions you can control. 2. People don't see your colors first. They feel them instantly. 3. The right color combination creates harmony. The wrong one creates silent discomfort. 4. You don't need more colors. You need better combinations. 5. Every color sends a message, whether you're aware of it or not. 6. Dark colors add power and depth. Light colors create openness and ease. 7. High contrast grabs attention. Low contrast builds calm and trust. 8. One strong color, one balancing color, and one accent. That's where clarity begins. 9. When colors compete, you lose attention. When they align, you gain presence. 10. Stop copying what looks good on others. Start choosing what feels right for you. 11. The way people perceive you changes the moment your colors start working together. 12. You don't need to change yourself. You need to change how you present yourself visually. 13. Colors shape first impressions faster than words ever can. 14. Simplicity in colors creates clarity in perception. 15. When you choose colors with intention, you stop blending in and start being remembered. And with that, we come to the end of this journey. If this made you see things a little differently, if it made you more aware of the small choices you make every day, then take that awareness with you. Thank you for spending this time here. And whenever you're ready to learn something new, to see the world from a different perspective, come back again.